Hi, it's Paulette, and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thanks for joining. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. And I have to say, I have two new subscribers since my last video, so thank you for joining. And since these are all unedited, I find it interesting. This is my second try of doing the video. The first one, I know why it didn't go because it was heavy. Yeah, because I know this is a different vibe from my previous videos because it's kind of a heavy topic that I really want to talk about today. So today is March 20th, 2025, and that works out to be a 5 day, and 5 is change, and which is interesting because it's the spring equinox. So there is a change. Spring is upon us here where I live. So this is my 16th video, and what I like to do is discuss the number of the video and see if it even relates to what I want to talk about. And I always find it ironic that it does. So the number 16 is the energy of completion, overcoming hardship, heading in a positive direction, wisdom and rebirth, which I think is relevant. And then there's a biblical passage, Proverbs 16:16, which is how much better to get wisdom than gold, to get insight rather than silver. So, instead of having something physical and tangible in your hand that you think has value, you get knowledge and insight. And I don't want to start crying. So I'll do my best not to cry here. So I've never really been affected by the cycles of our planet. Either I wasn't aware or I just wasn't affected. I couldn't even tell you. But this time, not that I was looking out for anything, but some things, if you're paying attention, get brought to you. And I think that's what we're here to do. We're here to learn about ourselves. Everybody thinks that there's something that they need to do. Our job is to learn about ourselves and how, that's what I learned. That's what I really feel. So, so the 7 planets aligned, if anybody's not aware of that, all the planets, the 7 planets, Mars, Uranus, Neptune, Venus, they were all aligned on the 28th of February. And I guess the next time that they do align is going to be in 2040. So I found that to be interesting. Not that anything happened to me on the 28th, but I feel I've felt the shift. I think I felt the shift before the alignment because I think we can feel things before they happen because we are energetic beings. And just like I got my hair cut. If if you're new, you don't know, but if you're returning, you can see I got my hair cut. I had long hair. I always had it up in a bun. I found it to be annoying to get a haircut, and so I like keeping it simple. So I just I air dry it. I don't do anything, and I don't even I hated to buy a brush, to be honest with you, when my hair grew long because I just like running my hands through my hair and calling it a day. So some stylists call me fortunate. I am who I am. I don't think I'm fortunate in any way at all. Um, so yeah, so I started, and then we had the full moon, full blood moon on the 14th of March. But like I said, I feel that I was feeling the shift even before the alignment because I felt compelled to get my hair cut, and yeah, I stunned my children, um, and I just did it. Even though I said I needed to wait for something that I needed to get my hair cut for, but something inside me said, do it. So I scheduled it, and funny to find out, I actually had a job interview, and so I was glad that I already had my hair cut before that. And um, yeah, which I think is funny because I applied because I felt like I needed to. It was for a part-time job. Um, it was actually in Delaware, and I'm in Pennsylvania, and I wasn't like, I kept on telling, okay, yeah, I'm willing to do that. Which is funny. We should not be willing to do something. We should be wanting to do something. So yeah, that's why I didn't get it. They never responded like they typically don't. Even though they say, "We'll get back to you." Well, you know what? There's no respect there, and so yeah. So you don't get me either because you didn't show me respect. But anyway, so like I started feeling out of sorts. Probably before the alignment, and up until the full moon. And so that leads me up to before the full moon. I woke up March 5th, and I had this overwhelming urge. And I don't remember my dreams, so I can't even tell you if I was dreaming about it. Periodically, I'll remember like phrases or something because I do have, I think, one video. I think I might have talked about two dreams that I actually remember. Like I had one on 8/8, and I did a video on that. And then I actually had a dream on the 3rd of March. And yeah, I can't remember what that one was about right now. I did write it down though. So I hope this is still recording because something on my computer just made it a whole white screen. So I can't even see myself to see if it's recording. So please be recording. So anyways, so I woke up with this complete conviction of feeling like I needed to get a hold of a childhood. I can't even really say it's a friend because I really didn't have much to do with them, to be honest with you. But they were a neighbor, and I lived in the country, and I grew up in Wisconsin, so they weren't like close. I I wasn't even in the same grade, even though we're the same age, because I got put into a program called junior primary, so I could get. I think it was probably because I was shy. Now that I think about it, um, to interact with people, I guess they look for that in childhood, interacting with people. But I'm glad I'm redoing this because I clearly was not laughing and chuckling in my last video. It was very, very sad. So yeah, this is the reason why I'm redoing this video. So, as I say, everything happens for a reason. So, yeah, I woke up with this conviction of I needing to communicate with this childhood friend, and I wanted to thank him because I viewed it as him being a gentleman to me, even though we were kids. I can't even really tell you how old I was. I think it was before high school, to be honest with you, but I'm not 100% sure. So I wanted to thank him because this is hard, but I'm doing it better than I did my first recording. I was violated as a child from the age of 5. Maybe through middle school. I clearly don't think it was through high school. So yeah, must have been through middle school. Yeah, from the age of 5, and since I'm the youngest out of 8, it was actually my brother's friend who was in charge of watching us, because when I was old enough to go to school, my mom decided that she wanted to go to work. So my brother, who's 10 years older than I, so he was in high school, so he had high school friends, was in charge of watching me and probably my other sister, who's 2 years older than I am. So she would have been like 7. And so, yeah. So I've had not just one person in my childhood violate me, but at least 3. And 2 were actual adults. Yeah. 2 were actual adults. The other one was a teenager. Okay, I get that. Not that it's right, but I really think that you are still learning. Yeah. I'm not going to justify it because it happened to me. But I'm a Gemini. I can see both sides. And that's why when I look at things, I really struggle because I can see both sides. Yeah, so I'm seeing both sides in this situation too. At first, it hit me hard, but I'll try to get to the point here. And I'm so glad I'm redoing this because I clearly was not laughing in the last video. I was crying a lot. So, yeah, so I actually sent a note to this person, and he still lives near my hometown. So, yeah, so he's still in the Midwest, and I'm on the East Coast. So I decided to send him just a simple note, and even though I found him on Facebook, I was like, no, I'm not going to message him. I found it to be more personable to send an actual note. So that's what I did. And it was just real simple, saying, hey, not sure if you even remember me. Maybe you blocked me out. But I've been thinking about you a few times over the years, and I'm going to be turning 60 here in a few months. But so yeah, so a lot of time has passed, and over the years, I have thought about him, but it was my thoughts were a little bit different. I was thinking it had a different meaning behind my thoughts because I've gone through two divorces. And so, yeah, I thought it had a different meaning. And so I never really thought much about it. Um, so, yeah, so when I woke up on the 5th of March, I decided to write this little simple note. I didn't expect anything back from him. I just wanted to thank him for being a gentleman to me because that's what I thought he was. Because I had a choice to say no. He asked me to kiss him, or he asked if he could kiss me, and I said no, um, which was hard for me because I never had a choice before, and yeah, that was hard for me actually, and but I said no, and so I always wondered, what if I would have said yes? That was what I had thought all these years. What would have changed in my life? Because when you look back at things and you think about if you made a different choice, what would my life be like? So that's how I was looking at it. I was thinking, oh, I wonder but you know what? Everything happens for a reason. And it may not be right away that you find out why or what the reason was behind it. So yeah, so I sent that to him, and then I, it's like someone casted a spell on me. I could not stop thinking about him. I was like obsessed, and I'm like, what the heck is going on with me? This is this is so out of the norm. And so I was like going through his Facebook, and I found it ironic that his birthday must be on March 4th. And here I woke up March 5th with this huge desire to reach out to him. So I'm like, what the heck? This is so coincidental. Um, yeah, it was very strange. So, like I said, I've been obsessed with him and found things on the internet. And there was, so yeah, I don't want to jump too far ahead. So, I want to say when you have an urge to do something, do it. Because you don't know, you think it's stupid or, has no meaning. Everything has a meaning. I Everything has a meaning behind it, and you might not know right away what that meaning is, but do it. So when you feel an urge to do something, do it. If you want to call someone, someone, do that. Send them a text message. And I'm going to give you another example, and it's not even my example, but I saw it for a reason. And I think she posted it maybe a month ago. And it just came up in my feed yesterday. Another coincidence? I think not. Um, but it was a YouTuber that I don't even think I'm subscribed to her anymore. I used to be into true crime, and she does, I think it's called It's a Crime or something like that. But anyway, she posted something saying I'm back now or something. I'm like, oh, she was gone. Me being clueless. And I was like, oh, let's see what she's got to say. So I'm listening to it, and she talks about how things have happened in her life and how she had to quit doing true crime because it was affecting her, and um, strange things have happened to her, and so she needed to take a break. And one of the things that she talked about, and she was sick too. She was going through a lot. But one of the things that she talked about, and she has regret, and this is why I'm saying, if something is presented to you, and I don't know if she had the urge, but it was something that she wished she would have done. And maybe she did slightly, I don't know, but you need to go with those slight urges. Um, it was a friend of hers that she said was a friend of hers for like 30 years, good friend. And they messaged her, I think it was like Christmas or something. And since she was sick and not feeling well, she just said, "Oh, not today. Um, I'm tired or whatever. I'll get back to him tomorrow." Well, the next day he was in a tragic accident, so she never got to speak with him, message him, nothing. And so now she lives with that regret. So that's why I'm telling you, if there's something that you want to do it. Don't wait. And yeah, because you just never know. You think everything's fine, and things can happen in a second. So another thing I want to say is, because I had the desire urge to talk to him, I wanted to explain to him why I said no. Um, and I wrote some things down. So I wrote it down. Oh my gosh. So I started writing to him. Like, when was this? Let me see if I can find it. Because I was like, I'm not hearing back from him. Not that I thought that I was going to, but I should have said, I want to hear back from you. So that was the 5th of March. I mailed it the 6th. Had to go all the way to the Midwest from where I'm at. So I didn't even really allow mailing time. So on the 10th of March, I decided, I was like, I have to get this out. It was inside of me and it needed to come out. So I started writing. And once I started writing, I was like, wow, this is profound. I had no clue that's what I was thinking up until this moment. Oh my gosh, I'm going to start crying. Up until this moment, I actually wrote it out. Um, why? Why I said no, and what it meant to me. Um, and my no had nothing to do with him. So if someone tells you no, don't take it personal. It's it's them. Yeah. So my no was me having a choice to say no. But I also wasn't interested in him. But mainly, I had a choice. I didn't have a choice before that to say that to someone that took something personal from me. Um, yeah, when I and yeah, so I when I was writing, I felt, this is before I found out something that I found out yesterday. Um, um, that I felt that he probably was the only one worthy of receiving a kiss from me, not the others that have taken from me, but he gave me a choice, and that meant a lot to me. So I wrote that, and what happens in your childhood really affects you for the rest of your life. And you may not think it does. Like I said, I'm just learning this. I learned this on the 10th of March, 2025. And yeah, so like I said, I'm turning almost 60. So you're never too old to learn anything about anything, yourself, anything. So I wrote that I learned that through all my relationships, what happened to me as a child made me not value myself. Because I was violated. Something was taken from me. And so it made me not value myself. And I've learned, and that's so weird because before I wrote him, I was feeling better and more confident in myself, but I still wasn't really understanding why. And the remembering of him in the situation, I thought that I needed to reconnect with him. I thought that was the meaning, but no, the meaning was for me to understand what happened, and for that to come up and out of me, to understand. And I guess I wasn't, when I was thinking of him in the past, because I was still in these horrible relationships and I wasn't connecting the dots of why I was thinking of him. Yeah, that was to show me that I was not valuing myself. I was letting physical, emotional abuse from another to me, and being married to that. Yeah, that was a lot. Me, myself, and I was allowing that. No judgment to them. I was allowing it. So, yeah, I was allowing that. So, just remember everything happens for a reason. Um, you just need to learn to look at things and write things out and understand why you're going through what you're going through. Critique it. And don't blame yourself for the path that someone else takes. So, yesterday, even though I've been on the internet, like Googling him, I skipped over something, and I'm not sure why I skipped over it. But yesterday, I decided to look at it, and I'm like, what? No way. This can't be true. No, it's not the same person. And it is the same person. I found out yesterday. Well, this is so hard. He's now a registered sex offender. And I read the article about it, and I'm like, wow. So then I started blaming myself. thinking, well, if I would have told him yes, um, this wouldn't have happened. I'm always like that. Like, Michael Jackson died. Well, if he knew me, he wouldn't have had such a horrible life. I don't know. That's just me. I think I could fix everything. Crazy. But anyway, yeah. So then I started blaming myself. And then it's like a cycle of thoughts. So I started blaming myself. And I'm like, no, he made that choice. He decided to do that. Um, I've been through a heck of a lot. Did I do anything that's awful? No. But, and my daughter thinks I'm crazy. My one daughter, anyway. Because I think out of the box. Always. I'm always outside the box. And I, like I said, I always look at things from different perspectives. And everybody's different. And why is everybody different? Okay, so everybody's born on a different day. There's and we are affected by the moon cycles. I have a sister that is a retired nurse, but she would always say, when there's a full moon, there's lots of car accidents and things like that. You know, yeah. And people that have closed minds don't think of that. So, yeah, so I discovered that about him. And I messaged him on Facebook before I saw this. And I provided my email address, my phone number, and said if he would like to stay in touch, he may. Well, I'm like, do I delete that? I wanted to delete that. And I'm like, no, Paula, you do not judge. You do not judge because I don't know. I'm not going to say he's what I've done. I didn't obviously do what he's done. Um, I guess he worked at a high school and he um, was inappropriate. I can't say he had the sex with them. That's not what the article said, but he was inappropriate with them. And he violated them. And kudos for those girls because you could tell we're going through a different times because people are willing to speak up about that now. When I was young, you do not discuss that. That was not brought up. That, yeah. So, yeah, people go through their own things in life, and you just don't know what they've been through. So, maybe my no, maybe his rejection through life um, triggered him to feel that he needed to do something like that. I don't know. I really don't know, and I don't want to assume because only he knows the answer to that. The pictures he had on Facebook, he looked very sad. And me being a caring, compassionate person, I wanted to fix that. I wanted to make that better. And I still, if he reaches out to me, I'll still be a friend. Um, because we all make mistakes and bad choices in our life. Some are worse than the others. But who are we to judge? And like I said, I really think everything happens for a reason. And there is no right or wrong, there just is. So, Yeah, I feel like there's something more I wanted to say, but I really don't know what that was. Um, but this this was an eye opener for me. Um, you just don't know the path that someone else took, and you're thinking that you could have changed something, and you thought it would have done something different, and that's not the way it is. But oh, I did want to mention. Um, I do. I'm into a whole bunch of different stuff. So, because I keep my mind wide open. So I listen to tarot card readings, and there was this one. I think she's in the UK. She posted a video about what will this major alignment activate for you, and she posted it like a day or two ago. Oh, it had to have been, yeah, this is before, so it was probably 2 days ago that I saw this video. And yeah, so the one that I picked, she's got like 3 piles to pick from, and you just use your intuition and pick the pile you think is meant for you. So I picked 2 of them, and they both were relevant to me. And one was referring to childhood. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I've been thinking about my childhood. Um, and then the other one was, she's like, it's just amazing how they can read these cards and come up with stuff that's relevant to you. I don't think it's a coincidence. It's all energy. And she's reading the energy, the whatever. It's like magic. So she says there's like a riddle that you need to solve. It like this solves a riddle for you, and I'm like, yeah, it solved a riddle. The riddle was I didn't value myself. That's what this alignment did for me. It brought that to forefront for me. It showed me that I needed to value myself, and yeah. So now I'm yeah, I will tolerate much less than what I tolerated previously. Um, when it comes to me and my values. So, um, well, it's been like 8 minutes, so I hope I didn't ramble on too much for you. Um, but I hope you have an amazing day. And yeah, I love you all. You have a great day.